You guys, welcome back to my channel, Wealth Arena. Today, I'm answering these. We're going to speak about something that's very uncomfortable, right? These are questions I've been receiving from a lot of people who've finished the course or for tech sales, but this applies for everybody in general, right? Because it's about money. It's very uncomfortable. People that look like me don't love to have these conversations, and minorities in general don't love to have this conversation, but it's for everybody, right? If you're like me at one point in time when maybe you didn't have that much money and you looked up, man, the rich and famous who lost it all, right? And you probably saw, the Mike Tyson at one point, MC Hammer, Pamela Anderson. There's a whole bunch of celebrities you could see who lost it all. And your first thought might be, well, they had bad investors, advisors stealing money, or, bad investments, I should say. And that's the excuse you make for them. But in reality, they're day-to-day regular people just like us. What about the day-to-day American that's constantly living paycheck to paycheck, right? The day-to-day American that doesn't know how they're gonna get by, don't have savings accounts and things of that nature, right? So I'm gonna show you guys why it's important to save money, how to start saving money and budgeting properly. So stay towards the end because I'm gonna show you this template I've been using the last 5 years, budgeting template that has helped me get on track with money because I was bad at one point too. Helped me get back on track, helped me have a savings account and investing and, get into real estate because I was doing better with my money, right? So a lot of people, they want to say, hey, Jordan, show me the proof because you're just saying all these different things, but how do you expect me to believe you, right? Okay, that's a great question. Here's the proof right here, starting off, right? Let me share my screen. This right here was published in December 15th, 2022. It says, 63% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. Some people might say, well, I make six figures. I don't fall into that. Like I make good money, right? According to the Lending Club, the same one that said the 60%, they said of those earning more than six figures, 47% reported living paycheck to paycheck. It jumped from the previous month of 43%. Paycheck to paycheck. So six figures living paycheck to paycheck still, right? A lot of people say, oh, okay. So what about this? Let's go some more stats. So people they don't believe it, this is published January 12th. You see the date. 6 in 10 Americans don't have $500 in their savings account. 6 out of 10. Think about that. Emergency expense, what are they going towards? Credit card if they have one. These payday loans that give you extreme rates, and that's what most Americans are going towards. Cash, cash strap, unexpected expense, and it's like, man, unexpected expense, a tire pops, kid gets sick. Oh man, now the whole budgeting is all flipped upside down from that, right? So now let's look at this. Of course we see this. 50% of Americans have under $500 in savings, right? So I say this. So what's my point in showing this, right? Because I've had a lot of people reach out to me and say, hey, Jordan, I started making more money now. It's awesome because it comes down to habits, right? Just because the main thing people would say, well, when I make more money, I'm going to start saving more. That never happens. I've done that too. I said, hey, when I make more, I'm going to start saving. The more I made, the less I save. You increase the expenses at one point in time, right? So I want to show you guys how to get back on track, right? So I'm going to show you this. Paycheck City is a good place to start. What's Paycheck City, right? A lot of you, who just started tech or are looking for roles now and you want to estimate, like, what am I going to get exactly? I know, especially if you're in sales, you're making commission. I'm going to show you how to live only off of your base pay and not your commission, right? Because that should be a bonus and that shouldn't be because, sales, it fluctuates. Let's be real. Sometimes some people are not consistent. Things happen. It's not consistent, right? So Paycheck City, you can go, especially if you're in a new state, you don't know how income taxes work and all that good stuff. It'll do it for you, right? You go to the salary calculator. All right, we'll keep it general. I say, I'm just gonna use Florida because that's what I know best. Click Florida, the state that you're in, right? And now you go to gross pay. You can switch it up. You can play around with them. I'm just gonna keep it very simple. Let's say you're making 65,000 as your base, right? Right, 65,000 annually, right? You get paid bi-weekly. So then once you go there, that's how you're gonna live, right? The commission should just be a bonus, right? So now that you know, estimate, let's say 3,800 if you guys want to be all technical, what we're gonna take out, let's say 3,800, which you after everything, your expenses, not expenses, but insurance and things of that nature. That's what you'll be making, right? So now you have an idea of what you'll be making, right? So now this is where I'm going to show you guys, and you guys let me know if you would like this. I'm going to give it to you all for free, my YouTube subscribers, because I see a lot of people charging for these budgeting templates, but I want to give this to you for free. But you guys just let me know your thoughts and if it's something that's worth of value to you guys, right? So now this is the same budgeting template that I use every single month. You can put your annual gross income, but here, since we know that, I would put so I just said the annual gross income, right? Boom, put that there, right? You can play around. You can add other things if you're what you have in your checking, savings account, deferred. This will help keep you on track, because if you don't track your money, you're just going to be spending, and next thing you know, you're paying things here, things there, just scattered everywhere. And I want you guys to start making more money, right? And not only making more money, it's not about that, because you can make more money and still be in the same situation. It's about what you save and put away, right? So now we're gonna go to monthly budget. It does this off the bat, but we know, remember we said we're doing off the same thing that I did. We know after taxes is actually 3,800. So you might want to put your net in that where it says gross. Well, I can fix that up for you guys. So if you think this is valuable, right? 3,800. So now, if you have a spouse, you can put that, or whoever. If you guys are paying bills together, I recommend you guys do this together. If you're, couple, whatever your situation is, do this together. If you're paying bills, like I said, together, put your rent, 1,000. Let's just use that example. Even though I don't know where you'll get that. Oh, I put 10,000. If you pay 10,000, all that. Anywho, so you do that. Let's say the average utility bill, I don't know, 200. Internet, let's say 60. Cell phone, let's say another 60. Groceries, dining out, shoot, this might get a lot of you guys. Let's say 300. Car notes, man. I don't know if you guys seen the average car note recently, especially during COVID. It's literally almost $1,000, right? But let's just say you're paying five. Just say you're paying 500, right? Insurance, let's say another 120 in insurance, right? Credit cards, whatever you put credit, you get the gist of it, right? So every month you want to come down and do this. It goes to the clothing, life insurance if you have any that you're putting away, which I highly recommend, especially if you just get a term. I'm not telling you I'm not telling you you don't have to believe in life insurance. It's not a religion. It's something that can help transfer money immediately and easily. But anywho, you can talk to a financial professional about that. So now you see all these different things you can put into play. Now, what happens though is I need you guys to pull up a statement when you do this, because some of you guys, I'm gonna be real, I've done this myself too. You round up and it's usually less than what it really is, especially when we go to this part, personal care or clothing. We underestimate that, right? So let's say after everything, miscellaneous, let's say now, I'm just doing random, after all my spending, I looked at my statements, what we've done, what we did in the past. This is what I have left over every single month, right? Now, what are you going to do with that? I don't have a savings account, right? Try to build one from there. Try to live off of, you see, you make 38, if your bill's 2,700, okay, you're only using 72%, you have 30%, which is pretty solid. Not the best, but it's pretty solid because inflation, right? You can't beat that, right? So let's just say, I'm just using a rough. Now you see, this is what you have left over, right? Now, I'll talk about this a little later. I just want to keep it simple for you guys to show you guys how that saving is not difficult, right? We just have to implement something. We have to, a tool like this could be very powerful. You guys let me know if you think this is the value of you guys, and I'll send it to you guys and I'll go more into depth with it. But this is why saving money and having control of it is important, because it doesn't matter what you make if you can't figure out what you have left over, what you're spending on, but you're not gonna be prepared for those emergency expenses. You're constantly gonna be in debt, So if you can't get this right, doesn't matter what role you're in, what tech, well, I'm making six figures, it doesn't matter because this is important, and we always have this new year, new me, I'm gonna do better, we're saving money, and guess what? A lot of people don't ever do anything about it, right? So this is the chance, right? I'm not here to motivate you guys and tell you how to do things and things of that nature. That's not what I am. You can go to other channels that motivate you. I give you actionable tips you can take today to improve your financial situation, right? And of course, what I'm going to give credit to as well today is CourseCareers, right? Because CourseCareers, a lot of people, it's a good way if you don't have to drive and spend gas driving to a job that's a dead-end job. Think about it. In Orlando, everywhere is 30 minutes to drive. Minimum. Doesn't matter if it's 5 miles or 10 miles, at least 30 minutes minimum usually, right? So think about that. If you're saving time not driving around wherever you're at, if you're in a big city, you're driving around constantly, working a dead-end job, CourseCareers could be another avenue for you to work from home, work remote, make a good pay. And if you're trying to get into the tech field, that's a good one. Or now they've added digital marketing. As you can see, they teach you everything about the digital marketing space, right? And the average income here about $55,000 first year, right? Or you're like, man, I don't want to do that. I want to get into tech sales. Tech sales, which I'm in as well. The average salary starting off base is usually about, the 55, 60 range, right? And that's the base before what's known as OTE, which is commission, right? So that's another avenue to think about that. If you're in debt, you're working from home, you're saving money on gas now, maybe you could Turo that car, that high car note, because you're not going to be driving like that anymore. And then boom, next thing you know, you're making more. Your second biggest expense is probably your car. That's getting taken care of. You got to get creative with it if you want to get out of debt. That's how I was able to. I didn't turn on things like nature, but I had to get creative with my finances to make more money and see how I could actually cut down on my expenses and not increase like I was used to doing, right? The last one I wanted to show you guys is, they have the IT field as well in there. Now, if you guys, the link is in my description about the code that you guys can use if you decide to go on CourseCareers. And I also want to take the time out to give a shout out to the individuals who did sign up and they reached out to me, and about 3 of them found jobs in about 30 days, and it doesn't always happen that way for everybody. Don't compare your chapter to somebody else's, but the fact that they took action, and like I said, guys, if you have questions, reach out to me on LinkedIn, reach out to me on social media. It's going to be in the link. It's going to be in the description down there. And lastly, subscribe. Subscribe to the channel if you want to continue seeing more content, and also comment. Hey, we would like to get this, that financial budget template that you talked about, because I'm going to give it to you guys for free, right? It's going to be free right now. There's no need for me to be charging anybody for it, because you can create this yourself, quite frankly. But this is already here. You might as well use it, right? So comment there, or send me a message on LinkedIn, and I'll reach out to you. I'll get back to you guys. And once again, thank you guys for supporting the channel. I hope you guys have a great evening, and have those uncomfortable conversations about money. Have somebody to hold you accountable, because I don't want you guys to be part of that stat. I was once part of that stat. Life sucks when it's like that. Quite frankly, it does. And I'm not any means better than anybody. It's just that I took the opportunity to lower my expenses, right? And let's make it happen, guys. I wish you all a great year, and let's do this.